So for today's podcast, we have the opportunity to feature two more students here that are fine examples of top-notch student athletes here in the EVSC. So we're going to be talking to Jaylan Mitchell. Jaylan, you are a sophomore up on the hill at Reitz High School. And Maddie Shirley. Maddie, you are a junior out at Central High School. So first of all, thank you both for taking the time to come down with us today.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, me too. It's very exciting.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to talking about this. So both of you have put together so far as a sophomore and a junior stellar basketball careers. So Maddie, let's start with you. So tell us about your career so far at Central High School.
Well, when I came into Central, we were rebuilding before I got there, and then we got there and we had a very successful season. We won sectionals, we went to regionals and lost to the state champs, and then last year in sectionals we didn't play very well in the sectional championship and got beat, and then this year we won and are hoping to make a little run in the tournament.
Just won your sectional championship.
Yep.
So yes. And Jaylan, tell me a little bit about your first 2 years at Reitz High School.
I'd say my first year was a little rough.
Okay.
Coming off a N13 season. I was just a freshman, and then obviously just moving here. Didn't really know about the area that much and like who we were playing against. But I feel like this year has been really good so far. Obviously we only lost 3 games so far, so yeah, that's pretty good. I feel like the guys we have around us are very older. They've played basketball for a very long time, so it's really good to have that, and it's just a really good group to play with.
Sure. And I know, of course, Jaylan, you've got your size as a great advantage to your athleticism. I think you're 6'8", you said, hopefully still growing. But if you had to kind of think about your skill set, what do you think as a basketball player that you bring to the table, that areas that you feel pretty good about?
I would say just being a big guard, IQ. I feel like you don't see that very often. I feel like kids my size, they kind of just get satisfied with just being a post player. I feel like that's one thing I grew up just not wanting to be. I feel like my potential just was way higher than that. So obviously with my trainers and my parents seeing that in me and just training me to be a big guard and facilitate and lead teams.
Sure. And Maddie, I know you may not say this, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. As a junior, you're already the all-time scoring leader in girls basketball at Central High School, correct?
Yeah.
And I think this year you're averaging 24 points a game. Does that sound correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is it about your game that has enabled you to be so successful as a basketball player?
Well, my team, but also...
Sure. Yeah, let's focus on the individual part right now, just to hear, as a player, what is it that you think has allowed you to be successful to this point?
Well, since I would say in middle school, my dad's focused on me having a shot above my head. So I have a high release instead of like a normal set shot. I feel like I have a jumper that most girls don't have.
Right.
Like I shoot more like a guy has, with the high release. So
as opposed to more of a shot in front.
Yeah. So I feel like that's kind of just what's been so successful for me, because even when I play taller, bigger girls, or if I have a double team, I'm able to get my shot off above everybody else.
Okay.
So.
And I want to hear from both of you. So we'll go ahead and keep with you, Maddie, in terms of the type of preparations you do as an individual player. So I'm not thinking as much for practice with the team, but during the off season, for example, what does that look like for you? Because with your success, I know you're training year round.
Well, right after high school ends, we go straight to AAU, which I play for a team out of Indy. It's Indiana Basketball Club now. They're a 3SSB Adidas sponsored team. So we have girls from all over. So we don't have practices ever. We just play together. So it's really just in the gym a lot with my dad. And then I've been weightlifting with our football coach, because that's what he went to college to specialize in. So I'd say a lot of weightlifting and then just like individual work with my dad. So.
Right. What about on the conditioning side of things? How do you stay in peak conditional shape so that you're able to keep that energy level up throughout the entire basketball game?
I feel like a lot of my conditioning comes throughout the drills that I work on, and I've been working on plyometrics too, which definitely helps with.
Tell me a little more about that. What is that?
It's to help with my like speed and agility and stuff. So there's like a lot of dot work where we're working on footwork, or like banded stuff. Or I don't know how to explain that. Like
no, that's very focused. In other words, you have a very specific training regimen you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Jalen, what about you? So tell me about, obviously, I know with the team, you all are working very hard during the season, but when it's not in season, what are you doing to keep moving forward?
So I also do AAU. I play
Mhm.
for Brad Beal Elite. They're Nike sponsored. Over the summer, I usually train. I'll go around the country and train with different trainers. But when I'm back at home, I'll be with Blackheart Basketball, Lucius Wagner. I'll train with him. For our Brad Beal season, we do practice a lot. That's probably like the main thing for me is we do practice a lot, and that's and they're actual like good practices, like college practices, I
Mhm.
would say.
Very intense, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
very intense. And you're surrounded with great players, so that comes with a you don't see that like very much down here, but playing with those guys, it's very competitive, and
Mhm.
so I feel like that's a way for me to get better over the summer while also playing and conditioning as well, because you play a bunch of games for EYBL, and then obviously in June we don't do very much basketball. We condition a lot for
Okay.
high school.
Right. What about on the weight side for you? Maddie talked about that. What's that look like for you?
It's like Monday, Tuesdays. So
Okay.
like Monday we'll do conditioning, Tuesday we'll do weight training. It's just kind of basic because you don't want to wear your body all the way down.
Right. Right.
But just keeping that muscle up, and then we'll
Okay.
obviously do stuff with my trainer Lucius.
And then talk to me about where Reitz High School's team needs to be as you wrap up the regular season. I know it's very competitive on the boys' side this year. So what are you looking at as sectionals aren't too far down the road?
I just say just staying focused. Obviously the talent's there. But with that, the hardest part is just staying focused, and sometimes that has happened to me. So like last year going to sectionals, we had beat Jasper before. They obviously had their big guy back going into sectionals, so I knew it was gonna be a tough game, and obviously we dropped that one. But I feel like going into this sectional, we're way more focused. We have the talent. In practice, Coach Brooks knows we have the talent, so we don't go against JV every day. He'll mix up the teams and we'll play against each other, and I feel like it's really competitive. So I feel like just working hard and staying focused is our main goal.
Sure. And Maddie, for you all, I mean, again, congrats on winning that sectional title. That's such an accomplishment. But now, as you look to regionals, how does the team prepare for that? Where are you all at in getting ready to hopefully keep winning?
Like he said, staying focused because basketball is such a long season. Sometimes it's easy to take days off.
Right.
We just have
How do you
to.
turn that intensity and that focus up from, as you said, a long regular season now in the postseason where every game matters?
I think losing last year kind of fueled us to get focused, and
Still stings, probably.
yeah, it does. I don't like to talk about it.
Right.
So,
Right.
it kind of fired us up. We're like, we don't want to feel that again. So, and yesterday, one of our Mr. Geyser, he's kind of like an AD there. He came in. He was like, girls basketball centrals never won a regional. We're always content with a sectional. So let's not be content anymore. So I think that kind of fired us up too.
Right.
So we're ready.
You're ready.
Yep.
Okay. I want to hear from both of you here as we kind of wrap up this conversation. Both of you, again, been a part of such successful teams, also tremendous success on an individual level, too. Maddie, we'll start with you. For younger athletes that are listening, and it doesn't matter what sport they play, what is your advice for young athletes who are wanting to be successful and for young teams out there that may be listening?
It's definitely not always easy. You're going to have your ups and downs. You're going to have your slumps. Just realize that it's not going to be like it's yours to take. Like if you want it, you got to go get it. It's not going to be given to you. So put in that work. It's not always fun. You don't always want to do it, but it's going to be beneficial, especially
That's what's
with
going to
something
pay
you
off
really
and make the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen, what about you? What
Yeah,
advice?
I would say the same thing. My advice would be I wouldn't focus on the now. Obviously if you're young, you have so much time ahead of you. I feel like I fell to that when I was younger. I would look at the rankings and stuff and how other players are doing on social media. But all that stuff went away when you get into high school because now everybody's your size. So now it's your skill level that you're trying to focus on. So I would just say, not focus on the now, focus on your future. And if you keep working hard every day, then the results will show.
No substitute for hard work.
Mm-mm.
No, it's not just a cliche.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to, and then we'll let you all go, but let's talk about what you kind of envision in the future beyond this season. We'll start with you, Jalen. What's coming down the pike for you? I know we said at the beginning you're a sophomore. What are you looking at in the future?
I would say, obviously, I go to Reitz High School now. I have been talking to a few prep schools though. Obviously, Coach Brooks has been a big part of that, and I've talked to him a lot about it. I wouldn't just leave without letting them know or letting even Miss Hagan know. So I feel like that is definitely an option. But right now, I'm focused on sectionals and hopefully going to state.
Absolutely. And Maddie, what about you? What's coming down the pike in your future?
So like you said, winning regionals and all that, and same thing next year. Hopefully we'll get a sectional, but after that I'm committed to USI right now.
Okay.
They have a very good program, and
Right.
when I get there, it'll be the first year they qualify for the tournament. They'll be off probation.
Because of the fact they moved from Division II to Division I.
Yeah, so looking forward to that with Coach Stein. So.
Absolutely. Who's been there for a long time.
Yep.
Great history at USI.
Yeah. And their assistant, Miranda Gatling, went to Central too. She's the assistant, so looking forward to that.
Okay. Well, want to say to both of you, congrats on great careers, but on the team side of things, best of luck to Reitz High School as you finish up the regular season and look ahead to sectionals. And congrats again, Maddie, to you and the Central Bears on that sectional championship. And as Mr. Geiser said, maybe it's time to look ahead and get that regional championship as well. So best of luck to you and your team for that.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you both for coming down today.
Thank you.